Hiya YouTubers, I am JabeerIni and as promised, this is a taste test video of that Broughton 6.2 IPA cologne we brewed for Season 1 season finale episode. If you haven't seen it, click on the wee eye icon in the top right corner and you'll be redirected. As promised, I'm giving you more details about that fermentation vessel you can see there in the back. As you can see, that's a full batch. Actually, that'll be the first full batch of this channel, and the reason for that is because that's a beer I'll be offering in my birthday. But the main specialty of this channel is, and will keep being, small batches. What beer is that? Well, I guess you'll have to wait until the official release of the first episode of season number 2, which is, by the way, going to take a while because I'm still working on the music parts. But I can tell you it's an insanely hoppy beer, so that should give you a clue. And in case it doesn't, well, you can visit my Instagram and see what beer I'm talking about. So with that being said, here we have our cologne. Let's talk about bottle conditioning time and ABV. Bottle conditioning time. This beer has been bottle conditioning for 4 weeks and 1 day. That's more than enough. And with regards to ABV, as you may remember, the OG or original gravity of this beer was 1069. And the final gravity was, and here's a pic for you to see, 1020. So, according to Brewer's Friend's ABV calculator, this beer is 6.43% ABV. That is just a wee bit above the original one, which is 6.2, but that's not a problem for me. In any case, we'll need to see the rest of the characteristics to finally conclude if that's authentically a cologne or not. So, without further ado, let's get reviewing! But wait, what do we need to do a proper review of a clone? The original! And here we have it! So first, let's open the original one. There we have it. Almost no smoke coming out of the bottle. Let's pour it gently. I really love the color of this beer. Whoops. Almost with no effort, and even making an effort for it not to have any foam, I got, I would say, a pinky finger head. So here it is. Let me get a coaster. And now let's open mine. Alright. A little smoke coming off the bottle. Let's pour it. It's busy as well. I'm really trying not to have any foam, but I'm failing. Alright. And I guess this is enough. Alright. Wow. Index finger head. And another coaster. There we have them. Let me give you a closer view. This is the original. And this is the clone. I can see that mine is not as clear as the original, but the tone, I mean the color, is really close. If mine was crystal clear, I would say it's the exact same color. It's amazing and I'm really happy about that. Really happy. What do you guys think? I really think the colors are really close, and the only difference is the fact that mine is not as crystal clear as this one, but again, not a problem for me. So, original, clone. Let's smell it. One thing that has always caught my attention about this one is that it lacks aroma. With the huge amount of hops this one has got, it's got a hop aroma. I can barely smell some, I would say, cascade probably. But no aroma in this one. And if I had to say something bad about this beer that I truly love, is that it has no aroma. But again, not a big problem because I know the taste of this one is just amazing. Mine does have a very good aroma. It has an Amarillo aroma. The only difference between this one and this one is that I used Amarillo instead of Cascade. because I ran out of Cascade. But I checked the equivalences and they can be exchanged if you use them in the right proportions, which I did. So purely from an aroma perspective, mine is a winner. Yeah, it's a lovely, lovely aroma. You can see that the heads of both are lasting. With regards to carbonation, I would say they are both the same. Let me use my cell phone for you to see. There you have them. There's the carbonation bubbles of the original. Look at that color. I've always loved and has always called my attention that orangey tone in this beer. And here's mine. Look at those very stable carbonation bubbles. Probably mine is just a little bit more loaded with carbonation bubbles. And again, look at that color. It's just beautiful. Orangey and golden at the bottom. Really, really beautiful. So let's divide the review in several sections for you to have a very detailed explanation of what I'm seeing here. Clearness. Mine didn't get as clear as that one, as the original one. So that's a tiny fail. Head. Both have a very stable head, so that's a win. Aroma. Well, yes. Yeah. Mine, double win, and well, that's the original one. I can't do anything about that one. Now, let's dive in. Cheers! I know perfectly what this one tastes like, but it's just to have a very fresh memory when I'm comparing it to this one. So, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. This is a perfect balance between malt and hops, and I may say between a lot of malt and a lot of hops. So let's try mine. Cheers! Wow! Wow! All I can say is wow! You're not gonna believe it. I know you're not gonna believe it. So I'll have another sip of this and I'll again divide the flavor in several sections. Because so far I'm noticing little or no difference. So let's talk first about bitterness. This one's actually not bitter. It is, of course, it has a tone of bitterness, but it's not something that you notice at a first sip. Let's try mine. And here you don't find it either. As I say, take into account, these are IPAs. So the amount of hops, the amount of bittering hops is high, as the rest of all of the remaining hops. But they are added in a proportion that you don't get an excessively bitter beer, if that makes sense. Now, the second thing that I noticed, apart from the not so bitter character of this beer, that was actually very Scottish, the character. Yeah, let's see what I think about the malt. Because you can tell the malt is there. And malt is here too. Again, a win. You can tell the malt is there because of the body of the beer. This is a very thick beer. And also you can tell it because of the flavor. It really tastes like malt. So I'm thinking that apart from the contribution it gave to the color, the use of crystal malt also had an impact in the flavor of this beer and in the body. Well, the body is mainly due to the use of a lot of malt. But the flavor, this characteristic flavor, it's like, again, I always use the same description. It's like burnt toffee. That's what crystal malt tastes to me like, and obviously I find it really pleasant. So, from the malt perspective, cloned. Now, let's go to the most relevant part. I'm sorry. This is 6.2, so you'll have to apologize if I made some mistakes. The hop flavor of this beer. And this is actually what made me fall in love with this beer. I strongly believe it's the use of Chinook and Pacific Jade what gives this beer some sort of tropical taste, especially Pacific Jade. It tastes like, but it's not passion fruit. It's something that reminds you of passion fruit. That is. And mango as well. It's not the direct passion fruit and mango flavor you get, for instance, in Brewdog's Funk IPA, which is given by Ethanum, Nelson Sauvin, and Chinook, if I don't remember wrongly, as well. This one, and I strongly believe it's due to the use of Pacific Jade, has an indirect tropical flavor. If I had to carefully pick a difference between these two, it would be that mine has a very wee, tiny, almost imperceivable flavor to Amarillo that you can't find in that one. Obviously because I used Amarillo and that one uses Cascade. But as I say, it's barely perceivable, the difference between these two. You know I'm hard on the autocritic part, but in this case I can honestly tell you this is a successful clone of this one. I'm just making sure and triple checking to see if there could be another difference. No. I just think this is finally a clone. I didn't make it with the Old Speckled Hen, as you know, but this one I did. So I think I can be happy that I end this season with a very successful episode showing you how you can make this beer at home. Really, it's really simple. It was really simple. It's even simpler for you because now you have the recipe. You can just follow my recipe and that'll do. So here it is. This is the result. This is the end of this season. I'm gonna end this season feeling very happy, very satisfied. What else can I ask? I'm double-fisted with a clone of the legendary 6.2 IPA by Broughton. And if you like it, I hope that you brew it at home using my recipe and tell me what you think about it. Double-fisted, as I am thanking you for being part of this very interesting and passionate project I'm building. I just hope you had as much fun as I did. If you like what you see, like, and don't forget to subscribe. And as usual, thanks for watching. Cheers and extremely, very glorious good beers. See you in season 2. Cheers.